Hey guys, it's Syama Maher here, CEO of Scaling Retail. We are coming to you from West Coast Craft, here with Sofía Enríquez from Mucho, which is an incredible brand, guys, really honed in on the intersection of art and product. Now, a lot of the brands here at West Coast Craft are more standardized in terms of being, ready to wear products, where you're going to see a lot of opportunities to buy, one of 100 kinds of t-shirts. But today we have the pleasure of walking through a collection from an artist, from someone who has had to suffer through the creation of one-of-a-kind garments. And we're going to get a little bit more interesting here in backstories because Sofía has participated in craft fairs and art events since about 2014. So the evolution of the craft fair, I think, is also something that's really exciting. We'll walk through the collections, we'll see the evolution of your business model, and get to understand more about the future of these craft fairs, right? Like what is going on? So Sofía, thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to be here. Tell us a little bit about kind of the creation of this brand and really, your experience in putting art on product and creating one-of-a-kind pieces. What has that been like for you? And also, how do you explain and share that and bring customers into your narrative?
Yeah, I started painting on clothing in high school, but to actually create a business was in 2014 after I graduated from Otis College of Art and Design. And
I love Otis.
Yeah, it's a great school, and it gave me a lot of knowledge of how to really just make a bunch of work. I was cleaning houses at the time to pay for school, and all the people I was cleaning their houses were giving me clothing. And I was like, I could totally wear this, but it's not my style at all. So I started cutting them up and painting them and stuff like that. And then I started to kind of create a business like that. It's different from screen printing graphics on t-shirts.
Yes.
It's, I wanted to kind of create artwork that you can wear, and then it just almost gives respect to the clothing, which is a weird thing to do. How do you, it's we live in fast fashion, you buy something, you wear it, it's done, whatever, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And putting art on it gives it a little bit of an elevated feeling and all that.
Absolutely. So when you have people walking by today, right, obviously your booth is one of the most experiential, right? It's definitely not like the others. So
yeah, it's my art studio.
I love it. I think it's so emotional. I think it's very much of your brand. You have, paint splatters. I mean, this is, you feel your art in this space, right? So tell me a little bit about how you went into deciding to kind of merchandise and put this together.
I get something that I would wear, and then when I look at it, I start to see images on it. And when I started doing that, I was hustling 3 different jobs and kind of still wanting to stay creative. So when I started to paint on clothing is when I started coming up with the word mucho, which means a lot. And then eventually it started to become this business, and then every piece started to mean a different thing. So every time I was kind of going through something in my life, I would paint it on the clothing. It says, when you move into a shitty apartment that's been painted over a bunch of times, that's what my body feels like sometimes. It's just I don't know. And I kind of using clothing as a part, a piece of my diary.
Yes.
Yeah,
so when someone's walking in here, right, it's can you kind of gauge who they are based on what they gravitate towards?
Yeah.
Is this more of an emotional experience?
It is, it's a connection. Yeah. It's like thrifting, you find the piece that fits you.
How do you kind of look at price points in that way, right?
Well, I sell it like I sell art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're buying a painting, and that's how much it's going to be.
That's exactly. Yeah, there's no way to kind of standardize
it's
that.
Not,
right?
It's not mass produced clothing.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about not only your decision to say, hey, this is my last one, but also kind of how you got here, right? Because it's also a good story.
Yeah, so I started just selling on Depop, and I was selling everything for super cheap.
Depop's awesome.
Yeah, Depop's great. It's a super great platform. It's how I got started. And then as soon as I started to really sell out of everything, I was like, okay, maybe I'm onto something. And I started throwing fashion shows that I was just let's just throw a fashion show, guys. And I would hit people up on Instagram and, does anyone want to model? Random people would be like, I'll do it. So then the community just started kind of helping out. And then I started doing pop-ups at the fashion shows, or pop-ups at hotels, or just wherever it could go.
In real life, getting in front of people.
Yeah. And I don't who knows how to do that? There's no school for how to show up, how to have a pop-up. So I just rolled up with stuff from my art like from my apartment, you know, and
Yeah,
I was
of
like,
course.
here, like this is what I'm working on, and people were just like into it.
How does social kind of play, digital media kind of play a role in your engagement with people and community?
I think it gives me more of like a scope of like who's doing what, and who's like, whoever responds is like, all right, cool.
Your
let's-"
people.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think sometimes as business owners, we can go down one path and forget that there are actually so many paths, right, to kind of that bigger vision. You know, you don't
Exactly.
have to do anything you don't want to do.
You don't have
right?
to.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that. When I first started this, I'm like, well, this is gonna be a brand, and there's gonna be marketing, and then there's gonna be business cards, and then like postcards, and a newsletter, and all this like stuff that I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to do any of that.
Yes, you can opt out, right? And I
Yeah.
think the cool thing is you can kind of create it to fit you. You know, and so many times when we're working with brands, I get an opportunity to say, hey, like how do you build this business around who you are?
Yeah.
Right? As opposed
Yeah.
to building this business around what other people think you should be doing. Amazing. So walk us through some pieces. I want to
Yeah,
know like
sure.
the things that make you laugh, the things that make you cry.
So these are, I designed these like huge cardigans.
Oh wow.
You want to put one on?
Yes.
Here, put one on. It's like heavy duty linen. And the pockets are big enough for like your laptop, straight up.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah, and then let's see, which one makes me cry?
Like-
Oh, this one like is one of my favorite pieces. This was kind of like my like security blanket,
Oh
like
my God, I love this.
Mew Mew. Yeah, it's super
This is like
comfortable.
This is super beautiful.
Thank
Wow.
you. Yeah, so I
That's
drew it out. I gave it to my
Yeah.
aunt, who's like a seamstress.
Yeah.
And she like made it.
This linen is so,
so bomb.
nice.
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's bomb.
I'm like,
And it
I
takes
love
paint.
linen.
Yeah,
I'm like
me
such a
too.
linen fan.
Me too.
This is
And like
amazing.
it just holds paint so well. And
Okay.
like this other piece is like one of my favorites just because I like wore it to Coachella and I just felt
Oh,
really like
connected,
I
yeah.
felt like it was a blanket. And I was just like, oh, this is like my security
Yes.
blanket.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
But it just says like a public thing, but it also says Mucho cansada, or yeah, and which means I'm really tired.
Other artists out there who are looking at experimenting with product and,
Yeah.
you know, like kind of creating their own path and pursuing their own visions. What are some things that you might want to share with them?
Not everything is gonna be the best thing ever. It's just that stuff has to be done in order for the good stuff to happen. You know what I mean? Like
Stay consistent.
stay consistent, just make something every day.
Yes.
Make something stupid, make something ugly, like make something with your friends and like keep trying to like just find it because
Mucho.
Mucho,
Right,
just do
you
a
just
lot.
have to do
just
a lot, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you never know what's gonna happen.
And how can people find you now that you're transitioning into a new way of collaboration and working with people? Obviously, this will be one of the final moments we get to experience
Yeah,
you in
yeah.
a craft environment. But
Yeah.
how can people find you?
So my website is sofiaenriquez.com. My Instagram is Sofía Enríquez.
Okay, it's pretty easy.
It's
okay,
super
so that's
easy.
very easy.
And all
Okay.
the emails and contacts and all that is there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sofia.
Yeah.
Guys, that's all from us here at Mucho with Sofía Enríquez. Obviously, you can hear there are so many different ways to build a brand. The most important thing is building a business that's custom for you, custom for what's important to you.
Yep.
There's no right or wrong way to do it, but there is a way that feels authentic and that gets you to the goals and the dreams that you want to achieve. Here at Scaling Retail, we do that on a daily basis. It's an amazing pleasure to be able to work with designers and artists as they take their creative talents and turn them into structured and profitable businesses. So, if you're interested in getting a game plan, please send us an email at hello@scalingretail.com and find us online at Scaling Retail. All right, guys, talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.